Okay, today I'm going to show how to make this beautiful wedding invitation, and it comes along with RSVP card and additional directions and information card in its folder. Okay. First, I laid out design, well, not design, but measurements on where to fold on a scoreboard, and scored the lines on the card and folded those over. This is actually going to be the front here. I went ahead and punched out these strips using an EK puncher, paper puncher, and the strips come out longer. Went ahead and cut them to match exactly, along with the initials of the bride and the groom. And I did these on Cricut, along with the flourish. Did that on Cricut too. This is the printout for the directions and additional information about registration, directions to the venue. Printed that on a computer. And the RSVP cards, printed those out on the computer as well. This is my score cheat sheet for scoreboard, so that these are going to be the back cards. Well, this isn't for the RSVP, but this is going to be for the additional information, so that when I glue it down, it fits exactly. So that I was able to get 3 cards out of one 8x11 piece of paper. The RSVP cards, I got this envelope idea from Cricut. Cricut lets you make these really cool envelopes, and decided to put the RSVP card in there. So when it's in the invitation, it's folded over. That way there was no need for another envelope, which would have made it added extra bulk. And it's kind of pretty with the scallop, the edge there. And then the bride and groom would put their address label here and stamp. And it is the regulated size for the USPS, which is the United States Postal Service. I looked online and got the regulation size. So it's just a tad larger than regulation size, so it should not get lost in the mail, hopefully. This is the inside vellum, which I cut this part on a trimmer, but I cut these on Cricut using the Design Studio software. I was able to manipulate the size exactly how I needed it, and I just slipped in the paper and it cut it as many times as I need it, and that worked out pretty well because it's exactly about 3.5 by 7.5, or 3 by 7.5. The rounded edges did come out a little different. This I was able to use a rounded edger a corner cutter, paper cutter. So it came out a little off, but you know, that's part of handmade. Things are going to be a little off. Gives it a little character. So now we're going to go to the construction of the piece. So move all this out of the way. And what I'll do is show this up to this part. I went ahead and we're gonna glue these sides here down. And it helps just to put a little double tape here. I'm using Tomboy Aqua Liquid Glue, and I have this little container, and I like it because it has the really fine tip on there, and that works when you're doing really intricate gluing on pieces like this, because big glob of goo is not good. Even though it dries clear, it still kind of looks not as nice against the white. So I went ahead, I'm just going to go ahead and put some little drops here, and mostly on the tips because you don't want those to pop up. And it can be a little tedious, but hang in there. And just a little dab here and a little dab there. Okay. And then you're just going to kind of eyeball it. It doesn't have to be perfectly centered, but you can see if it's a little off, it's okay to move it. And you might get a little bit of glue smeared, but that's okay. Like I said, it dries clear. You can make sure your hands are clean, and you just lay it down and let it dry. If you have something that comes up like that's coming up a little right there, you just kind of, you can fold it back a little, just dab it. If it's too much, just take it off with your finger and just kind of dab it. Okay. Then this is the RSVP card. I'm going to fold that back. The only problem I did have was that it gives a little bit of bulk here. And so even though it is exactly on the line, I did have to fold it a little more once I fold it down. And this is the information card when it's done. I'm just going to slip it in there. So when you fold it over, you gotta play with it a little, and just to get that bulk down a little bit more. And snugly fit it in, fold it over. Might need your bone folder. Bring it out a little bit. For the most part, I didn't really get that on a lot of them, but like I said, that's part of the handmade. So, I probably won't use this because of that. So we'll just go ahead and continue. This is the card here. Put this card together. I cut these out by hand. Could have done it on a Cricut, but I cut it out by hand. This is the one I did on a Cricut. Placed it down, glued it. This heart I did on the Cricut. And if I don't use this card, I might just take it off and keep this part. I'll put that over here. I'm gonna put the lattice. The lattice will go here, and I have to make sure that it's just the right, goes right over just the right amount. Get that, and I glue the bottom here. I'll glue that. Place it down. You got a little overhang here. That's okay. You can always trim that off. And you'll have this at the end. And you get your initials. And I'm gonna get a little dab of glue here. Now, this part I'm gonna measure 2.5 inches from the bottom. You kind of want to center your initials here. So I'm gonna put that right about there. I don't want this M to touch the lattice. I'm gonna put it right there. So it is not touching the lattice. It might seem kind of far down, but there's going to be 2.5 inches up here as well for the C. So we're going to glue the C down. And glue that down. And I want to not put them too far apart. Then I get these little blings. And I usually use some tweezers. I can't seem to find them. There. I just move them over. also put bling in here. And there's your card. What I did also was I rounded off the edges here with the corner cutter. And there it is. And that's the invitation. So, hope you have fun, enjoy, and change it around if you want. Do whatever you like. Bye.